Going on, guys? Staying true to my word, we're doing an NBA 2K rating recap for just a single day of games. We're covering February 7th, 2026, Saturday night. We're going to start with the Brooklyn Nets. We got 10 games that we're going to knock out today. Some interesting news, some interesting debuts, and a lot of tanking that went on today. Brooklyn, they moved to 14-37 with a 127 and 113 win over the Washington Wizards. This was a very controversial game from the Wizards' perspective, but for Brooklyn, Porter led the way with 23. Noah Clowney had 18. Those guys having huge bounce backs after only combining for like 6 points in the previous game. Day'Ron Sharpe had 19 points off the bench, 9 of 11 from the field. Danny Wolf had 16 points, 7 of 11. Wizards did not exactly field the most competitive front court in the world. Going over to them, they dropped to 14-37. We got some news that AD will be held out the rest of the season as they look to get him healthy and ready for 2027. Worth noting that everybody is super high on the 2026 draft class. Everybody is super low on the 2027 draft class, which is why I think some of these tanking teams, we're seeing them make pushes into being competitive next year, because it's going to be a similar draft to 2024 where the top guy is going to be somebody like a Zach Risache. They're under superstars in the 2027 draft, it's looking like. But the Washington Wizards, they have been playing a lot better, even before acquiring AD. When they acquired Trae Young, just like moving out CJ McCollum and letting the young kids play a little bit, has they have gotten some surprising wins from teams who haven't taken them seriously. They're 4-2 since January 27th, and their win versus Detroit in their last game was their most impressive of the season. But they held out a lot of players in this game, in the tanking Olympics versus the Nets, as these teams are all jockeying for lottery seeding. They held out Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George, and Abdul Coulibaly with minor injuries. It is the first game of a back-to-back for the Wizards, so those guys all probably will play in the second game, but just to ensure that they get the loss in this game against the Nets, who also employed a similar tactic against the Wizards when they sat most of their players in their previous game. Will Riley had another huge game. He had set his career high for like the third time in the last 3 days. Had 27 points in 45 minutes in this one. So I do have him up at a 77 overall rating. He's been pretty good off the dribble. He's over 11 from mid-range, so that is holding his rating back some, but that's something that should improve over the course of the season. He's pretty good at getting shots off the dribble. He's basically a shooting guard, a very tall shooting guard at 6'10", 190, creates a lot off the dribble. He's had a pretty good week or so, and since they moved off of guys like Chris Middleton, etc., he is poised to have a very big second half of the season. Justin Champagnie, likewise, he's cleared to start now that Middleton is gone. He had 21 points in this one. I did get his rating in finally. Sharif Cooper, on his comeback tour, had another 14-point game in 29 minutes. Doesn't seem like D'Angelo Russell's really ever going to suit up for Washington, although he's not really a buyout candidate, as they have he does have a $6 million player option, so he's just hanging out watching the kids play. Worth noting, Keyshawn Gilbert was signed to a 10-day contract, needs to be added to the game by 2K Sports, so as soon as he gets in, I'll add him. He had 4 points in 29 minutes, was one of the 8 active players for the Wizards in this one. I think the Wizards, at least they are tanking ethically, in that they're holding players out altogether and not trying to actively throw games. You know, if the kids can get it done, great, but they're not going to sabotage their own chances at winning, as some other teams do during the course of a game. We'll get to some of those in just a few minutes. But going over to Houston, they moved to 32-19, and they're losing ways against the OKC Thunder, 112-106. They moved to 32-19 on the year. Tari Eason had a season high 26 points. Jabari Smith double-doubled with 22 and 10. KD had 20. Reed Shepherd, he got the start in this one as Almon Thompson dealing with illness, so he didn't play. Shepherd had 16 points, 6 assists in the win. Thunder, of course, they lost their second in a row. Or no, I'm sorry, they won their previous game to get to 40 wins. They are actually the NBA's first 40-win team on the year. 90% of NBA champions win 40 games before they hit 20 losses. OKC is 40-13 on the year. Detroit and San Antonio are the other teams projected to get to 40 wins before 20 losses. So those are your three title favorites, it would appear. Kaysen Wallace at point guard in this one, as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is out until the All-Star break with his abdominal strain. He had 23 points, 4 assists, 4 steals. He is leading the league with 3.8 steal percentage. Chet Holmgren had 17 and 14. Jared McGain, he made his debut off the bench, had 5 points in 14 minutes. However, I do think that he is kind of on the outside looking in of the rotation once everybody else on the team is healthy. He's not a better player than A.J. Mitchell, but still a valuable piece moving forward as he is on his rookie deal, so he does have some cost control. I'm curious what will happen, especially once Nikola Topic comes back. They're just so loaded with talent on this team. Buddy Boeheim was signed to a 2-way contract. 2K has not added him yet, but likewise, as soon as they get him on the roster, I will fill this slot with him. And let's move on to the San Antonio Spurs, who we just talked about. They got to 36 and 30-16 on the year with a 138-125 win over the Dallas Mavericks. Stephon Castle had a monster triple-double after coming off the bench in the last one. 40 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists with 3 steals, was 15 of 19 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 7 of 10 from the free throw line. Wemby added 16 and 11 with 3 blocks, De'Aaron Fox 15 and 5. Devin Vassell with 17. All those guys got the start, so Harrison Barnes came off the bench for the second time. He had 9 points in 22 minutes. I will eventually change Champagnie to power forward. As soon as... let's just make sure that Vassell keeps sticking in the starting lineup, that they don't have any other injuries on the team. Dallas, they dropped to 19 and 33. Cooper Flagg struggled in this one. It was a minus 31 overall for the game, scored 14 points. Marvin Bagley made his debut off the bench, 16 points and 12 rebounds. Chris Middleton was inactive, but they do intend to keep him to activate PJ Washington. He had 10 points off the bench in this game. Tyus Jones, he also made his Mavericks debut. He had 4 points, 7 assists in 17 minutes. Did not start, but I'll fix that a little later. He is very similar to Ryan Nembhard, and it actually occurs to me that they have not converted Ryan Nembhard yet. Nembhard was inactive for this game, so he's close to his 2-way limit. He's played 44 out of 50 games, or he's been active for 44 out of 50 games, I should say. So he's only got 6 more games he can be active for, so they may look to prolong that process as much as possible. But the fact that they brought in Tyus Jones, who makes like $7 million, maybe indicates that they might take their time converting Nembhard, as they are kind of similar players. They would prefer to get Nembhard on like a multi-year deal rather than just straight converting him. So they may play a little bit of hardball with him and his agent. I think the Mavericks, they actually have a full roster, so they would have to cut somebody to make room for Nembhard. So it looks like they are just going to prolong that process for as long as possible. I don't know if it necessarily makes sense for them to actually keep Chris Middleton. Maybe they want him for like sign and trade purposes. I don't know. I mean, they also have been so short-handed in the front court, and they are essentially using guys like Cooper and Najee Marshall as like the starting point guard on this team. but I don't know. AJ Johnson would really be like the guy that should be cut, but he still has his the following season is still guaranteed for him. Maybe they end up stretching him or something later on because I don't imagine he'll have much value league wide or anything like that. I guess on the AJ Johnson note, he made his Mavericks debut, but picked up where he left off as essentially the worst player in the NBA. Scoreless on 0 for 4 from the field. Going over to Dallas, sorry to the Orlando Magic, sorry. They dropped to, or they moved to, sorry, sorry, I'm a little worn out from yesterday. 27-24 on the season. 120 to 117 over the Utah Jazz. Paolo Banchero, 23 points. Desmond Bane with 22. Anthony Black, 21. Black and Suggs had 4 steals each. Magic at 15 steals overall, forcing a lot of Utah turnovers. Utah, it was a nice game for them. They had the debut for Jaren Jackson Jr., playing with Lauri Markkanen, so they got to see their new look front court, and then they were also able to throw the game and continue losing games so they can keep their stupid pick. So Jaren Jackson in his debut, 22 points, only played 25 minutes though. Lauri Markkanen, same thing, 27 points, only 27 minutes for him. Of course, neither one of them played in the fourth quarter as they were more interested in throwing the game, a game that they lost by 3 points. This is worse than, at least Washington is just playing their kids. Like Will Riley started and played 45 minutes. Jameer Watkins played, he started and played 45 minutes. And they're not like throwing the game. They're letting these guys just go, and if the Wizards win the game, so be it. Utah is they're playing all-star caliber guys and then not playing them when the game matters most. And they're not even strategic. Like at the end of the game, they were up 3 or they were down 3, and they didn't even bother calling timeout on the final possession because they don't actually care about setting up a play to tie the game, which is like it's very unethical. And I'm not so I don't think that the league rigs the results. Recall that Utah dropped to only the 5th pick last year. They're a team that, like, if the league is going to manipulate the lottery results, all these teams that are throwing games absolutely deserve to have their lottery odds meddled with themselves, since they themselves are trying to game the system. So I don't think that the Mavericks moving up for Cooper Flag, I don't think that was baked into the Luka Doncic trade by any stretch, since there was no guarantee anyway that that Dallas was going to miss the playoffs. They were trying to make the playoffs. So yeah, I just think it's disgraceful what Utah has really been doing over the last 3 years. They are finally going to be competitive next year again, because that 2027 draft class is nothing special, and so they are going to push forward with this core of guys. But yeah, until then, it's just going to be a bad product to watch over in Utah, at least in the final frame of the games. Charlotte, they moved to 25-28 on the year, 126 to 119 over the Atlanta Hawks. It does seem like they are going to pass the Hawks in the standings before too long. They are on a 9-game winning streak, hottest team in the NBA. Mikal Bridges, 26-6-5. Con Knippel, 23-8, 6 of 11 from 3. LaMelo, 19-9 assists. Moussa Diabate, really when he returned and entered the starting lineup, that's when they started winning all these games. Double-doubled with 11 points and 15 rebounds. Brandon Miller had 19. They out-rebounded the Hawks 49-30 in this game, so really dominant up front. Atlanta, they dropped to 26-28, so just a half-game lead over the Hornets. Onyeka Okongwu made his return after taking a brutal hit to the face from Jaylen Brown, where he lost a bunch of his teeth. Came in wearing a Bane mask, a facial protector. 16 points, 6 rebounds for him. Jalen Johnson, another near triple double. He has triple doubles in the last couple games. 31, 9, and 8 to lead the way for them. Alexander Walker struggled with his shot. 13 points, 3 of 15 from the field, but did have 10 assists. Zachary Risachet finally had a good game. 18 points, 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 4 from 3. Jonathan Kuminga, it was announced, is going to be out until after the All-Star break. Buddy Hield and Gabe Vincent were both DNP CDs in this game, have yet to debut for their teams. Maybe Vincent played in the last one. I can't recall, but I don't think Hield has yet. Hawks had a 4-guard rotation prior to the trade, as they were playing CJ and Kennard next to each other some, but they were playing next to each other some, but they were also staggering those guys too. But they have not acclimated their new guards as of yet, so they are just running with a 3-guard alignment or 3-guard rotation with Daniels, McCollum, and Walker playing the bulk of the minutes. Denver, they moved to 34-19 on the season with a 136-120 win over the Bulls. Cam Johnson made his return to action just in time, as they lost. They don't have Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson for the next month. So Cam, 14 points, 4 rebounds, with 6 of 9 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. So he was effective. That was a little bit of an issue for him earlier in the year. Played 27 minutes at the 4. Clear path for minutes for him. So just hoping that he can stay healthy. Jokic had a massive triple-double, 22, 14, and 17. Passed Oscar Robertson for second all-time in triple-doubles. Jamal Murray, 28 points, 11 assists. Spencer Jones was inactive for this one. He is at his two-way limit. However, he hasn't been officially converted yet. Maybe they're just working out the details of that of the terms of that, because the player probably would prefer to just get straight converted, whereas the team would prefer to lock him up to like a multi-year deal. Julian Strother, he got the start at the 3, or maybe Brown is the 3. Either way, Strother played, and he had 33 minutes and was effective in this one. So the Nuggets, it would appear, do have a little bit of leverage. They don't need Spencer Jones in the lineup as of yet, since Cam Johnson and even Bruce Brown are able to play a little bit of 4. And obviously Chicago doesn't have the most imposing front line either. But Strother, 19 points, 7 of 14 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. So that might knock his overall rating up a point. Chicago, they dropped to 24-29 on the year. Jalen Smith out with a calf injury. So Gershon Yabusele got the start at center. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks, 26 minutes, 4 of 10 from 3, resurrecting his career after the Knicks tried to eliminate him over the course of this season. Matas Buzelos with 21 and 8. Looks like he's stuck at power forward just due to how many guards are on the roster at present. Jaden Ivey, 10 points, 3 assists. Anthony Simons, 15.6 assists, kind of an invert of the production they had in the last one. So maybe I'll swap their positions back and forth. I still haven't looked at the actual lineup data for the team to get a better read of who the actual point guard was. But Colin Sexton, he made his debut, had 17 points off the bench, 4 assists, 29 minutes. Rob Dillingham also, I think he made his debut, or he played in the last one, I can't remember. 9 points, 4 assists for him. Nick Richards, 15 points, 7 rebounds, playing the backup center role as Collins is still sidelined. Chicago, they're putting guys out there. I don't know if they have much of a concept of a team, though. They do expect to lose a lot of games over the rest of the season. Lakers, they moved to 32-19 on the year with a 105-99 win over the Warriors. Luka out with his hamstring injury. We still don't have a diagnosis, so I'm not going to sideline him yet. Maybe he's just day-to-day. LeBron essentially got the start at point guard with Luka out, had 20 points and 10 assists. Austin Reeves came off the bench again, probably just the sixth man moving forward. As when Luka, LeBron, and Reeves all started together, it wasn't super effective, and they do need some bench scoring on this team. So probably just his role for the rest of the way. 16 points, 8 assists for him, and it kept Marcus Smart in the starting lineup. They do need some defense more than offense. if anything. Rui moved to the starting lineup with Luka out. He had 18 points. Luke Kennard, he made his debut, had 10 points, 26 minutes off the bench. So he played a lot with Austin Reeves. So it might actually make sense for me to, if Reeves is going to be the sixth man, I think let's actually just swap his position to point guard temporarily. This is like, honestly, given his dimensions, 6'5", but only a 6'6" wingspan, he really is more of a one. And Luka is, as a bigger player, once LeBron is gone, he's probably just going to be like a full-time like forward designation, or at least it'll make sense. I don't think it makes sense if like Luka, Reeves, and Marcus Smart are all starting games. It does not make sense to have Marcus Smart as like a small forward, I don't think. But yeah, I think this kind of makes sense rotationally for what the Lakers are doing. And obviously Reeves will spend a lot of time next to Luka, but I would actually consider Luka to be the 3 in those lineups rather than the 1. But also some news for the Lakers. They signed Kobe Buffkin to a not a 10-day, but a 2-year deal. He was previously on the team with a 10-day back in January, but he's been killing it in the G League for their affiliate, so they wanted to reward him. This does give the Lakers a full 15-man roster, so if they are going to sign somebody on the buyout market, they would have to cut a player. My guess is it definitely won't be Bronny who they cut. Maybe Dalton can. Does Dalton connect? Did they pick up his 4th-year rookie option? I believe they did. I think it's just more likely that the Lakers kind of realized that there was nobody out there that they really wanted to add to their team, or at least nobody that was going to be better than what they anticipate Kobe Buffkin's going to bring them. So just to clean up their roster a little bit, let's put Kobe Buffkin at the 2. I'm going to bump Dalton Connect up to the 3. I'm going to move Tiro to basically a 4, so he's not much of a shooter. And that should give he's basically just a younger version of Jared Vanderbilt. So that should give the Lakers some lineup balance over the rest of the season. Golden State, they dropped to 28 and 25 on the year. Steph Curry missed another game, so Porzingis also still inactive. He has yet to play for Golden State. So Draymond Green and Guy Santos were the starting front court for them. Pat Spencer continues to get starts when Curry misses time. 14 points, 7 assists. He got converted to his standard deal as he was at his game's limit. D'Anthony Melton has started the last couple games at the 2. Looks like he's just the starting 2 guard again, so I did shuffle positions a little bit, pushing Moses Moody to the 3, where he's going to most likely start the rest of the year with Jimmy Butler sidelined. Melton, he struggled from the field, 5 points and 2 of 10 from the field in 25 minutes, but he did have 5 steals, and that is essentially why they value him so much, as he is probably their best 3-and-D option next to Steph Curry. Moody, for what it's worth, had a solid offensive game, led the way with 25 points in this one, doing his best mini Klay Thompson impression. Philly, they moved to 30 and 22 with a 109-103 win over the Suns. Embiid leading the way with 33, Maxey 29, Kelly Oubre 18, kind of a standard game for them. Jabari Walker is at his game's limit. They did sign Patrick Baldwin to a 10-day contract. He is two-way eligible, so I imagine they will add him on a two-way at some point. And then Jabari Walker probably would get that standard spot, is my guess. Phoenix, they moved to 31 and 22 with the loss. Devin Booker, though, made his return to game action after missing about 10 days or so with his sprained ankle. The team played well in his absence. He had 21 points, 10 assists in this one to lead the way offensively. Dylan Brooks, 28 points. Royce O'Neal double-double with 14 and 11. If you recall, Joel Embiid, not the best rebounder in the league anymore. Mark Williams also double-doubled with 11 and 11. Colin Gillespie struggled offensively in this one, 6 points, 2 of 11 from the field. And Jalen Green, I am going to have to drop his rating. It seems at some point. 8 points, 17 minutes off the bench. He's obviously dealt with a lot of hamstring injuries this year, which doesn't be he is not the impact player so far that he perhaps was the last couple of years in Houston, and also just has a smaller role coming off of the bench. He is behind guys like Grayson Allen, etc., in their rotation. Portland, they got a nice win over the Grizzlies, 122 to 115. They moved to 25 and 28 on the year. Still in the play-in mix, despite the absence of Denny and Shaedon Sharpe. Shaedon Sharpe out with the calf injury that he suffered in the last game. Donovan Clingan leading the way against the size-starved Memphis Grizzlies. 20 points, 19 rebounds for him. Jeremy Grant led the way offensively with 29 points, 6 of 10 from 3. Drew Holiday adding 21. Scoot Henderson did not play because it was a back-to-back. Caleb Love had 17 points, 8 assists off the bench. He's at 44 out of 50 games played on the year. My guess is he'll get converted after he hits his limit. Blake Wesley and Matisse Thybulle are the candidates for players who would get waived. Thybulle might have some interest on the buyout market once he's ready to play. Memphis, they dropped to 20 and 31 on the year. Jerome was the starting point guard in this one, 19 points in 20 minutes. Pippen was inactive for this one. It feels like they're going to platoon these guys moving forward, given that they're both coming off of injuries that led them to miss 50 games. Spencer, Coward, and Wells were all out as Memphis, getting in on the tanking as well. KCP got the start at the 2, had 11 points in 31 minutes, or maybe he was actually really the 3. I guess we could count him as the 3 because he does have a couple inches on Jemai Mashak. I don't know exactly. I'll try to figure out how exactly that's pronounced moving forward. But 8 points and 6 steals for him. Very impressive. He is known as a defensive ball hawk for him, so he might be one of those guys that like his offense sucks, but we just have to might have to max him out at like a 99 steal rating. Because that is like his calling card. 6 steals in 30 minutes for him. Very interesting player. Walter Clayton Jr., I moved him to the 2 guard. I've been trying to figure out which one of these guards I should move over. He played next to Javon Small in this game off the bench, so might as well move him to the 2. 8.7 assists, 3 steals. Hopefully, maybe he can get going, getting minutes off the ball and stuff, because he is a better 3-point shooter than what he's shown so far, at least with the Utah Jazz. G.G. Jackson got the start at the 4 in this one, 11 points, 8 rebounds. I don't want to change his position as of yet, just because they do have some guys who are more natural 4s, who are kind of, the Grizzlies are a medical case right now. Kyle Anderson started at the 5 in this one, 11.6 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks. I believe this was his debut for the team, his triumphant return, 5 of 6 from the field for him, played 27 minutes. Still an effective player in spot minutes, and I do think that he can be a piece of their rotation moving forward if he wants to be. Omax Prosper had a really big game, 25 points, 25 minutes off the bench, 7 of 8 from 3, the best offensive performance of his game easily. So that's an interesting little wrinkle for him as he enters. I'm not sure if he's really going to be a candidate to get converted this year, but it is something for teams to think about as he enters restricted free agency on his 2-way contract. Maybe a team will make a low-level offer for him, or more likely Memphis will agree to a multi-year deal that keeps him around. Javon Small, for what it's worth, I did mention that he played next to Clayton Jr. in this one, as he was the backup point guard with Spencer and Pippen, and of course Ja Morant sidelined. He had 22 points, 7 of 10 from the field in 28 minutes. The kids are going to get some run over the course of the year. I would actually be surprised if Ja Morant suited up for the team over the rest of the season, given that every other team is holding out their injured players, so why not the Grizzlies? Cleveland, we have the debut of James Harden. They moved to 32 and 21 on the year with a 132 to 126 win over the Sacramento Kings. Harden, 23 points, 8 assists, 7 of 13 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. So awesome debut for him, and definitely more productive than what Darius Garland has, A, been doing this year, and B, what Garland is even able to do now because he is currently sidelined. So it does seem like he is going to be able to help the Cavs for their playoff push, and let's see where they're able to go in the standings over the second half of the year. I believe they are a top 5 seed. I don't remember if they're 4th, 5th, or whatnot, but certainly they could end up as high as 2nd, depending on how the other teams do. Jarrett Allen, 29 points, 10 rebounds, 11 of 12 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. So he's been on fire. Obviously, playing against the Kings, they're not the best defensive team in the NBA by any stretch. Definitely a team that can get abused in the pick and roll where Allen excels. Donovan Mitchell, 35 points, 4 assists, so very dynamic backcourt for the Cleveland Cavaliers once again. Sam Merrill and Jalen Tyson were the starting small forward, power forward in this game. Well, Dean Wade was out. Also, it's the Kings, so why not? Sacramento, they dropped to 12 and 42 on the season. They are the first team that guaranteed will be below 500 on the year. Lost their 12th consecutive game. Levine, Sabonis, DeAndre Hunter all out for this one. Kings unleash the kids again. Again, this is ethical tanking because they're not playing the starters and then holding them out in the fourth quarter if the game's close. They're just letting the kids go out and play. And if they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. So Nick Clifford, he got the start in this one, had a career high 30 points, 12 of 19 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3. Daquan Plowden likewise got the start, had the best game of his career, 16 points, 6 rebounds, all of those rebounds offensive. Dylan Cardwell, 12 points, 11 rebounds, coming off the bench. Devin Carter went from being buried to now he's the backup point guard on this team, 18 points in 27 minutes. Russell Westbrook, he's never going to allow himself to be to engage in tanking. 21 points and 9 assists, 5 of 10 from 3. He's not even going to look for a buyout. He's happy putting up numbers. Whether they win or not doesn't matter. He's going to get his and just enjoy what's probably going to be his last season as a starter. We'll see if a team is interested in him as a backup next year. Nobody was interested in him last year, but we'll see if this year that he's had changes any minds. He has been shooting the ball a lot better from 3, so that is really one of the main concerns that teams have had about him is just his overall shot selection on that second unit. So really interesting day in the NBA. We had some 2 big debuts and a lot of discussion about ethical tanking. Tomorrow is the Super Bowl, so I really don't care about the Super Bowl. Maybe I'll watch the Bad Bunny halftime show, but it does mean that all of the games that are played tomorrow are going to be done in the afternoon, so I'll probably get around to recording during the actual Super Bowl. Yeah, there are 4 games tomorrow. The Knicks and Celtics at 12:30 should be a nice game as they jockey for 2nd and 3rd place in the NBA. Miami against the Wizards. Wizards on a back-to-back, so the kids will probably play. The kids, the starting kids, Koulibaly, Sarr, and George. They'll probably be starting in that game against Miami. Indiana is going to continue to their ethical tank against Toronto, probably holding out Zubats again, and Siakam. I probably will want to play against his former team, but we'll see what ends up happening there. Of course, Siakam, another one of those guys that I think is very anti. Like if he's healthy, he's going to play. He's only missed like 2 or 3 games on the year, and then we got the Clippers, or the shell that remains of the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard and company, matching up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are going to be looking for a bounce back after losing to the Charlotte Hornets, I believe it was, or maybe a team worse than the Hornets. No, they lost to the Pelicans. That's right, and Rudy Gobert challenged the team to give more effort defensively. So let's see if they get it going against the Clippers. I will see you guys later tomorrow. Enjoy the Super Bowl if that's your cup of tea. I'm just a basketball junkie, so we'll be covering the NBA tomorrow. Peace out.